Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shelly. I am an elementary school teacher in Northern California. It is that time of year. I don't know how, but it is the middle of July and we are going back to school here in the blink of an eye. So I wanted to make this video for you because Amazon Prime Day is just in a couple days. It's July 16th and 17th this year. And I wanted to give you some ideas. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to give you a ton of different ideas that you can add to your Amazon wish list. A couple of things that I like to do with my wish list are, one, send it out to my family and friends. I post it on my personal Facebook. I also send it to the parents of my students at the very beginning of the school year. This is a really great way to get your list on a bunch of eyes. There are so many people out there that want to help teachers, and so you don't have to spend the money out of your own pocket, and it's honestly just a fabulous way for people to give back to teachers. Okay, so before I start going through the items, I want to say a couple of things. One, whatever I have linked down below, you don't have to use that exact one, that exact brand. I just want to give you an idea of the product that I'm talking about. That being said, everything that I mentioned will be listed down below. I wanted to start with like the most expensive items. I do have a couple of expensive items on my list because you never know who's feeling extra generous or who has the means to support a teacher in that way. So I'm gonna give you a couple of like high ticket items, and then we'll go through some like electronics, and then just like some basic stuff. What I'm not going to do is recommend the obvious items, right? Like the Mr. Sketch markers, pencils, pens, flare pens, anything that's kind of basic and like a duh item, I'm not gonna put on this list. I have them on my teacher list, but I'm not going to include it in this video because what I really want to do is give you some ideas that maybe you haven't thought of that could help elevate your classroom, elevate your teaching, your students' lives, whatever. Okay, let's jump right in. So the first item that I think is imperative for any classroom is some sort of a cordless vacuum. Over the years, I have had several crappy vacuums, to say the least. So this year on my list, I actually have this exact vacuum. I want a cordless, something strong that can suck things up. Yes, our janitors do vacuum, but only like twice a week. I have a kid vacuum my room every single day, so a really good vacuum is something that I recommend you put on your list. Piggybacking off of a legit vacuum is one of these hand vacuums. I have one in my classroom and I have two at my house. This is a phenomenal tool to clean up those little messes that you don't want to sweep. It's truly something that I grab every single day and a really easy item to throw up on your list. The next item is definitely a bigger ticket item, but it is one of those things that we shouldn't have to spend our money on. I am fortunate enough to have my PTO purchase things like this, or even my school, to be honest with you. But for those of you that aren't, a classroom rug is a phenomenal item to put up on your list in hopes that someone grabs it. This is the exact rug that I have in my classroom. A lot of people ask about it, so I'm gonna link this one, but of course, go find any rug, any color, any size that fits your space. Another really good higher ticket item are one of these big standing easel whiteboards. Some of us are not blessed with a ton of whiteboards, and one of these is really great because you can move it around the room to wherever you want to teach from. This one in particular also can hold anchor charts and is magnetic, I believe, which both of those things are really imperative when you're like thinking about a whole group teaching space. So definitely worth throwing on your list. Speaking of whole group teaching space, there is something about having like a really nice teacher chair. I splurged on one of these a few years ago, and I swear so many people walk in my room and they're like, where did you get that? It is something that makes me more comfortable. It makes the space feel a little bit more homey. So now would be a good time of year to try and get one that fits your room, fits your vibe. So definitely think about getting some kind of a teacher chair. And then the last thing on like the higher ticket side, it's not that individually these items are expensive, but you probably will want to buy several of them for your class. And it's any sort of a flexible seating option. This is a great thing to put on an Amazon wish list. I'm talking wobble stools, those little scoop chairs, maybe some like foam squares. I will have all that linked down below. But honestly, if you just go on Amazon and you type in flexible seating, it pops up with a ton of different options. So again, think about your kids, your school, your site. What kinds of things would you want to include in your classroom space? Okay, we're just gonna keep this moving. I don't want this video to be super long. So now I'm gonna kind of move into like the electronics, the tech items that I think can elevate your teaching or just make your day-to-day a little bit easier. And the first I feel like is talked about a ton, but it is so worth it. And it's a classroom doorbell. I know they are talked about and everyone uses them, but it's for a reason. They are phenomenal. I keep mine on my lanyard, I push it, and that's like my call to action or whatever you call it, call and response. I don't use a call and response, I push a button. And they are phenomenal. This one comes with like, I don't know how many, but a zillion different tones. You pick the one that you like, you can switch it up. Super worth it. I love and couldn't live without my classroom doorbell. And then speaking about classroom doorbells, I actually have this on my list. I haven't used it, but it's a hand sanitizer, like little thing for your lanyard, and apparently the doorbell fits perfectly inside. So if you use that or you have some other kind of doorbell holder that you love, can you link it down below and let us know? This is what I'm gonna try this year. I don't know if it'll work, but I just wanted to share it with you in case it does. Moving right along, another phenomenal thing to put on your wish list. This is something that a lot of my kids' parents bought for me, which was phenomenal, are headphones for students. I'm not talking like the really cheap ones that the district provides, something that's just a little bit more durable. I have these ones linked down below, but truly any sort of headphone that looks durable to you, put it on your wish list and I promise people will start picking away at them. It is so worth it to have a good set in your classroom. Another thing I have on my list this year are these Amazon LED lights. I see a lot of teachers wrap them around their whiteboard and I just think it makes the space feel that much more homey. You could probably use them for a zillion different things, but I'm planning on wrapping my whiteboard this year and I have it on my Amazon wish list, hoping that someone will buy it for me. Okay, this next item I had on my list last year and someone apparently purchased it, but it never showed up at my house. So I don't know what happened, but I'm hoping that I get it this year, and it is one of these wall-mounted digital clocks / timers. I can't stand having a zillion tabs open on my computer and trying to find like a countdown timer to put on the TV. I want something on my wall that I can literally just turn on and the kids can see how much time they have left for a certain activity. So I'm really hoping someone buys this from my list, because if not, I'm gonna get one anyway. I'll let you know how it goes, but definitely something that I think will be a game changer, especially with like small groups. I digress. Another thing that I also have on my list are these LED drawing pads. I have these for my kids, and I just thought, what a fun way for kids to show their thinking in small group, or even honestly like an indoor recess game. I saw that there was a pack of like 40 of them, so I put that on my list. I just think it's something fun to add to the classroom. This next one might feel like a duh, but it's worth mentioning. Every teacher needs a really good laminator. A lot of schools have those big clunky laminators, but there is nothing like having a laminator in your classroom. I have two. I have one in my classroom and I have one at my house because that's how often I use it. If you don't have a personal laminator, definitely throw one on your list. Someone will get it for you. It is worth it. All right, the last thing in like the electronics department, I have not used one of these, but I'm excited to try one this year, and it's one of these like wireless presenters. I have a smart TV in my room, which was brand new to me last year, so I'm hoping this works because I love the idea of being able to walk around my room and just present my slideshows without having to like be at my computer to click next, next, next. Fingers crossed it works. I will let you know. If you have this one or you have something similar, let me know how you like it or if it's just not worth it, but I figured I would give you the idea and you can do with it what you will. Okay, this last section are like just little basic classroom things that you might need. I'm gonna kind of rapid fire through some of these, and if it needs any sort of explaining, I will slow down. First things first are a good set of teacher lanyards. You don't have to use these exact ones, but I've gone through several and I wanted one that was like not gonna break, things like that. So throw those on your wish list. A good, cute lanyard that you vibe with. Next are, it doesn't have to be these, but a set of stamps that you can stamp on work. Nothing you have to grade, but just like, I saw it, I checked it, looks good. Having a set of stamps like this is another indoor recess fan favorite are these magnetiles. There are a lot of different ones to choose from on Amazon. I have these on my wish list and I'm hoping that someone gets them because again, whether you're 3 or apparently 9, kids love these. I do want to slow down for this next 2 items because they are a game changer and you can go one of 2 ways. Both of them are for holding anchor charts. If you hole punch and put binder rings on them, you can store them with these next 2 items. First is a magnetic shower rod that you can put right on your whiteboard and then holds your anchor charts. Phenomenal. The next one is a little bit bulkier, so if you have the space, you might want to think about it. It's one of these laundry racks. You can clip your anchor charts on hangers and have them all organized on this laundry rack. I use this in one of my classrooms. I just don't have the space to store it, but it worked phenomenally well. So definitely worth considering. So a couple other things, a good set of student whiteboards. I prefer the ones that are back to back. That way kids don't scribble on the back of, you know, the brown part that they always do. So a good set of whiteboards. Also a full set of these dry erase pockets. I use these for everything. Everything. Every teacher must have this. Another thing that you might not have thought about are these clear pockets. I love these. I have one pocket on every student's desk. and I print out their login information and I slide it in that pocket. And then when we change seats, they just take out their card, move to the next seat, and slide it in that pocket. They never get lost. They are chef's kiss. A couple basic items that will be on every Amazon wish list that I ever create. Astro Bright paper, I go through it like water, and also sentence strips. I usually get a pack every year and I use the whole pack throughout the year. Two things that will always be on my list. This next item I'm really excited to try. It's nothing fancy or revolutionary. It's command hooks, but I got these like extra large ones because I'm thinking I want to put one of these hooks on the side of each kid's desks and then they can hang their water bottles. I am so excited and I hope this works. If their water bottle doesn't have a handle, oh well, they can hang a jacket, something else, and if not, it can just be there. But I'm really excited to try this. Okay, last two items, both are magnetic. The first one being a magnetic pen holder, I suppose you could call it. Again, there's a ton of different ones on Amazon. I never thought to get something like this, and I feel like it's a duh teacher item, but you put it on your whiteboard and you can put your markers and your erasers in them. That way you don't have to always I don't know, I can never find any of that stuff. Even though there's a tray, it doesn't work for me. I'm hoping this solves my problem. And the last item I have for you, I actually already have. It was on my list last year, and it's these magnetic place value blocks. They are phenomenal, especially if you display any sort of number talk or place value chart. I use them a lot in my small groups. They're magnetic, you can put them right on your whiteboard. They are phenomenal. Kids can pick them up, move them around. Definitely something worth adding to your classroom. Okay, so I hope that I gave you an idea that maybe you haven't thought of before, but more importantly, I want you guys to go down into the comments, add an item of your own, something you think that maybe teachers haven't have thought of before or something that you could not live without in your classroom. I want as many teachers to get their wish lists fulfilled as humanly possible. And if you haven't created a wish list, this is your sign. Go to Amazon right now, create a wish list, and share it out to your family and friends. That is all I have for you for this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe. We are in the middle of classroom setup. I have 2 videos already, lots more to come. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me now at Early Adventures. Other than that, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.